Have you ever found yourself pondering why certain individuals seem to immediately perceive your presence, even when your intention is to remain inconspicuous? What is it that causes some people to be instinctively drawn to you, while others appear utterly bewildered by your nature? If your existence has been characterized by a persistent feeling of being distinct, as if you inhabit a reality that consistently fails to align with your intrinsic energetic signature, then this video content is specifically curated for your understanding. Carl Jung, the eminent psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, posited the existence of exceptional individuals who possess an unparalleled presence, an almost ethereal emanation that transcends the superficial layers of mere personality traits or cultivated aptitudes. The vast majority of the populace will remain oblivious to this profound characteristic. However, if you are among the perceptive few, you will undoubtedly recognize these indicators within your own being. And perhaps through this recognition, you will finally experience a profound sense of decreased isolation. Let us now delve into a comprehensive examination of the initial trio of indicators. It is entirely plausible that you possess a distinctive aura, one that remains largely incomprehensible to the general populace. Consider this scenario. You enter a physical space, and almost instantaneously, you perceive a subtle alteration in the atmospheric quality. Heads turn, conversations momentarily cease, sometimes for only a fleeting fraction of a second, yet the shift is undeniably palpable to you. On occasion, you discern an undercurrent of inquisitive interest. At other times, a palpable unease, and sometimes you sense a pervasive uncertainty regarding how individuals should appropriately interact with you. This phenomenon has likely been a consistent aspect of your experience for as long as your memory serves. Even during your formative years as a child, you might have observed adults engaging with you in a manner distinct from their interactions with others, or perhaps your peers regarded you with an expression that suggested they intuitively detected an inherent otherness about you. This perception is not attributable to your sartorial choices or your spoken words. Rather, it emanates from the silent, potent energy you inherently carry. It is the almost tangible quality of your very being. Carl Jung himself coined the term numinous presence to describe this profound energetic resonance, a deep, impactful energy that imprints itself upon others even before you articulate a single syllable. Consequently, you might depart from a location only to have individuals vividly recall your presence, despite your minimal verbal contribution. Occasionally, you might discern that your mere existence creates a sense of disquiet in others, or that you conspicuously stand out for reasons that elude rational explanation. For an individual imbued with such a rare aura, this experience can often engender a profound sense of solitude. You might harbor a desire to assimilate, to remain unnoticed, yet this aspiration invariably proves futile. It is not your intrinsic nature to conceal yourself. Rather, your energetic essence is destined to be perceived and felt. This constitutes the inaugural indicator. Your very existence inherently influences the world around you. If you are indeed an individual possessing a rare aura, it is highly probable that your life history is replete with instances of others confiding their deepest secrets to you. Occasionally, these confidants are your intimate friends or immediate family members. However, frequently, they are complete strangers, an individual you encounter fleetingly in a bustling coffee shop or during a journey on public transport, who, without prior prompting, suddenly divulges profoundly personal details. Your verbal contributions in these exchanges may be minimal. You primarily engage as an attentive listener. Yet somehow these individuals instinctively feel a sufficient degree of security to reveal their innermost thoughts. This phenomenon is not rooted in an intrusive curiosity or an incessant barrage of inquiries. It is, once more, a manifestation of your inherent energy. There is an intrinsic quality about you that engenders immediate trust in others. You might frequently discover yourself assuming the roles of an impromptu counselor, a spontaneous therapist, or a comforting presence for those in distress, often without any prior expectation. However, this inherent capacity can also impose a considerable burden. You might conclude a conversation feeling utterly depleted, or you might observe that you continue to carry the emotional weight of others' suffering long after your interaction with them has concluded. There may be moments when you yearn for the simplicity of superficial, lighthearted exchanges, yet individuals consistently gravitate towards profound discussions with you, irrespective of your personal inclination. Jung theorized that individuals endowed with rare auras inherently reflect fundamental truths back to others. You serve as a metaphorical mirror held up to the lives of those around you, and this reflective surface inherently encourages unvarnished honesty. You possess the capacity to discern the underlying narrative beyond the explicit words, and people sense this, even if they lack the ability to articulate precisely why. Over time, you acquire the essential skills to safeguard your energetic reserves, to establish firm boundaries, and to conscientiously engage in practices of self-care. Nevertheless, the fundamental truth remains. You embody a sanctuary in a world frequently devoid of such refuge, and that in itself is an immensely potent characteristic. If you are a person possessing a rare aura, it is highly probable that you have experienced a particular strain of loneliness that most individuals rarely discuss. This is not merely the state of being physically alone. This profound sense of isolation can permeate even a densely populated room, amidst the camaraderie of friends or family, surrounded by merriment and lively discourse. It is an intrinsic sensation that the deepest facets of your being remain fundamentally incomprehensible to anyone else. Perhaps you endeavor to articulate your unique perception of the world, only to be met with a lack of understanding or a swift change of topic. You might yearn for more substantive conversations, for genuine, profound connections, yet frequently find yourself relegated to the role of an outsider, the one who never quite seamlessly integrates. Carl Jung famously observed that individuals who courageously forge their own distinctive paths often experience a profound sense of solitude. This isolation is not a deliberate choice, but rather a consequence of their being attuned to a fundamentally different vibrational frequency. You might have dedicated years to the arduous task of attempting to assimilate, to conform to the norms of the collective. Yet these efforts invariably proved unsuccessful. You learned, through lived experience, to accept and carry your inherent loneliness, to cultivate a sense of peace with its perpetual presence. However, herein lies the concealed beneficence. That very loneliness transmutes into the fertile ground for your creative impulses, your profound wisdom, your incisive insights. It instills within you the capacity for deep, empathetic listening, for introspective contemplation, and for discovering intrinsic resilience within the quietude of solitude. The external world may never fully grasp the true extent of your inner depth, but this fact does not diminish its inherent reality in the slightest. You might frequently observe that animals or young children are spontaneously drawn to you, instinctively sensing your gentle, benevolent energy. You might discover profound solace and comfort in the realms of artistic expression, musical compositions, or the serene embrace of the natural world, environments where your unique aura feels intrinsically at home. You could possess an acute sensitivity to the fluctuating emotional states of others, readily discerning subtle shifts in their moods, or experiencing a profound sense of exhaustion following social engagements. It is crucial to understand that you are not inherently weak for experiencing these sensations. You are not excessively sensitive. You simply perceive, feel, and process the intricacies of life on a level that the majority of humanity does not even comprehend exists. A concluding insight from the perspective of Carl Jung. Carl Jung firmly believed that the most extraordinary and distinct souls are frequently the most profoundly misunderstood. He famously articulated, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Your rare aura is not merely a bestowed gift. It carries with it an inherent responsibility, the responsibility to wholeheartedly embrace it, to meticulously nurture its essence, and to permit it to serve as your guiding principle. Do any of these aforementioned indicators resonate with your personal experiences? Have you encountered situations where individuals react to you in ways that defy rational explanation? Or have you experienced a pervasive sense of loneliness, even when surrounded by others? I am genuinely eager to hear your personal narrative. Please share your experiences by leaving a comment below, detailing how your rare aura manifests in your daily life. If you are deriving enjoyment and insight from this exploration into Jungian wisdom, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to receive updates on future video content, focusing on psychology, unique personality types, and the profound journey of uncovering your latent strengths. Your personal story has the potential to be precisely what another individual requires to feel truly understood. Today, we have merely commenced this profound journey. In the subsequent installment, we will delve into an even broader spectrum of indicators, including how your nocturnal dreams, your heightened sensitivity, and your innate intuition distinguish you in ways you may have never previously acknowledged. If your energetic signature is uncommon, it's highly probable that your nocturnal visions possess a vividness that surpasses the reality of waking existence. You awaken with precise recollections of hues, sensations, or even elaborate narratives that appear imbued with a significance you are often unable to articulate. Occasionally, these dreamscapes reiterate themselves, presenting peculiar recurring motifs. Perhaps you repeatedly encounter the same creature, or you find yourself traversing locales that hold no counterpart in your conscious world. Furthermore, this phenomenon isn't solely confined to your nocturnal experiences. Your daily life may seem replete with subtle cues or uncanny concurrences. It could be that you consistently observe the same numerical sequence, or certain musical compositions resonate at precisely the opportune moment. There are instances where you perceive the cosmos communicating with you through a lexicon of omens. Carl Jung would have characterized this as your inherent link to the collective unconscious. Individuals endowed with distinctive auras frequently exhibit a heightened attunement to their internal landscape. You don't merely dismiss anomalous sensations or intense dreams, rather you afford them considerable attention. This profound connection wields considerable power. It empowers you to preempt forthcoming events, to grasp your own emotional states with greater profundity, and at times even to assist others in deciphering the complexities of their own lives. However, this very connection can also engender a sense of isolation, particularly when you endeavor to articulate your dreams or the manner in which you discern underlying patterns. Some individuals might readily dismiss your observations as mere overthinking or an excessive inclination toward the mystical. Nevertheless, you possess an unwavering conviction that your internal experiences are authentic, even when they defy conventional logic. Jung posited that these internal encounters constitute a rich repository for personal evolution. Your psyche continuously furnishes you with clues, facilitating a deeper comprehension of your quintessential self. It is imperative to embrace this process. Document your dreams diligently, be acutely observant of synchronicities, and permit your inner realm to serve as your guiding principle. This is not eccentric, it is sagacity. You may detect that you absorb the emotional states of others almost as if they were your own. If an associate is beset by anxiety, your own chest may constrict in sympathetic response. Should someone exude excitement, you perceive an influx of energy even prior to their verbal expression. You possess the capacity to instantaneously gauge the atmosphere within a room, discerning tension, elation, or sorrow without a single spoken word. On occasion, this innate faculty can feel overwhelming. Large gatherings may deplete your energy reserves. Certain individuals might leave you feeling utterly exhausted, as though you have completed an arduous marathon, even after a brief interchange. This is not indicative of weakness. It signifies that your emotional sensory apparatus is calibrated with a sensitivity surpassing that of most. Carl Jung regarded this heightened receptivity as a singular form of fortitude. You are profoundly interwoven with the collective unconscious, that intricate emotional matrix that binds all sentient beings. This implies that you are uniquely positioned to offer solace, empathy, and insight in ways that elude others. You simply comprehend people, even if they fail to comprehend you. However, this also necessitates that you prioritize your own well-being. Establish clear boundaries. Allocate dedicated periods for introspection and solitude. Cultivate the ability to decline requests when you feel overburdened. While your purpose involves assisting others, you cannot dispense from a depleted reservoir. Remember, your sensitivity is an asset, not a deficiency. It enables you to perceive the inherent beauty in the world, to appreciate artistic expressions, musical compositions, and even mundane moments with enhanced depth. Permit yourself to experience emotions fully, but also grant yourself the grace of repose. Have you ever possessed an inexplicable foreknowledge of an event before its actualization? Perhaps you discern a particular ambiance emanating from a newly encountered individual, and subsequently, your intuition is vindicated. Or you experience an abrupt impulse to alter your plans, later realizing you successfully averted an undesirable predicament. Individuals possessing rare auras are equipped with an intrinsic navigational system. You place trust in your gut instincts, even when you cannot rationally explain their basis. Your decisions might be predicated on visceral feelings rather than purely logical considerations. And when you disregard these profound inner promptings, outcomes almost invariably deviate negatively. Jung designated this phenomenon as intuition, a direct conduit to the unconscious mind. He maintained that intuitive individuals perceive subtle indications and recurring patterns that remain imperceptible to others. This is not sorcery. It is not mere conjecture. It represents a profound susceptibility to the underlying currents of reality. Your intuition empowers you to select the optimal trajectory, to circumvent detrimental associations, and to identify promising opportunities. Nevertheless, it can also induce anxiety, particularly when the prevailing societal narrative urges you to adhere strictly to logic. It is crucial to recognize that both logic and intuition hold significant value. However, for individuals like yourself, suppressing your intuition is akin to severing a vital sensory faculty. It is a potent instrument, one that becomes progressively sharper with consistent heed. Honor your inner voice. Record your gut feelings, even if their meaning remains opaque in the present moment. Over time, you will cultivate greater self-trust and you will observe the remarkable frequency with which your instincts prove accurate. Living with a distinctive aura entails a convergence of these indicators. Your dreams, your heightened sensitivity, your acute intuition, all forming part of a more expansive tapestry. They distinguish you, occasionally fostering a sensation of being an outsider in your own existence. Yet they simultaneously unlock pathways to profound comprehension, meaningful connection, and boundless creativity. There may be moments of profound loneliness. You might yearn for the ability to deactivate these faculties, to simply be conventional, or to integrate more effortlessly. However, your extraordinary aura constitutes your most invaluable endowment. It is the very essence that grants you the capacity to perceive fundamental truths, to facilitate healing in others, and to engender beauty where others perceive only disarray. And you are not isolated in this experience. There are kindred spirits dispersed across the globe who share your sentiments, individuals who dream with vivid intensity, feel with profound depth, and place unwavering trust in their instincts, even when such trust defies rational explanation. A Jungian perspective resonates deeply here. Jung famously articulated, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." You possess a rare aura precisely because you are willing to undertake this inward gaze. Do not permit the external world to sow seeds of doubt within you. Continue to evolve, continue to feel, and allow your inherent uniqueness to radiate. Our exploration is not yet complete. The subsequent 3 indicators unveil the most profound enigmas associated with possessing a rare aura, the inherent gifts and formidable challenges that permanently distinguish you. Remain with me as we conclude this shared odyssey. If your energetic field is truly exceptional, you have likely observed that people exhibit intense and at times unpredictable reactions to your presence. Some are captivated by you, desiring close proximity. Others, conversely, may appear envious, competitive, or even subtly intimidated. There are instances where an individual openly expresses admiration, almost perceiving you as a source of inspiration. At other times, you encounter resistance, an inexplicable barrier that arises without any discernible provocation. You might sense whispered conversations behind your back, or feel that you are being misjudged before anyone genuinely understands your authentic narrative. Carl Jung put forth the idea that an individual possessing an uncommon or potent energetic signature functions as a reflective surface for the subconscious elements within others. You might inadvertently serve as a reminder to people of their personal aspirations or the aspects of themselves they actively try to evade. Occasionally, your very presence can elicit emotional responses in others that they would rather not confront. You did not actively seek this particular role, yet it consistently accompanies you. This dynamic can render interpersonal connections perplexing. You may find yourself pondering why certain individuals gradually distance themselves or become emotionally detached after having been close, or conversely, why others gravitate towards you, seeking your counsel, your vitality, or your insights. It is not an indication of superiority over anyone else, but rather a manifestation of distinctiveness. Your unusual energetic field inherently disrupts the status quo, for better or for worse. Over time, you acquire the wisdom not to internalize these reactions. You begin to discern what genuinely pertains to you and what merely reflects the narratives of other individuals. This realization represents a significant stride towards safeguarding your inner tranquility and identifying individuals who genuinely value your authentic self. You might frequently find yourself in pursuit of profoundness in every aspect of your existence. Superficial conversations tend to exhaust you. Relationships lacking substance leave you feeling hollow. Your yearning is for genuine, meaningful dialogues. Those interactions where individuals discard their pretenses and articulate from the very core of their being. Whether this occurs with a single trusted confidant, through your artistic expression, or even by simply documenting your own thoughts in a journal, you are perpetually seeking the underlying truth beneath all phenomena. Jung would characterize this as being driven by individuation, the intricate process of evolving into your true, complete self. You have no desire to adopt roles or confine yourself to categories that do not authentically represent you. Your aspiration is to live a life imbued with purpose, sincerity, and self-awareness. This profound hunger for meaning can, at times, instill a sense of restlessness, as if nothing ever quite suffices. You may outgrow relationships, professional roles, or even previous versions of yourself as you persistently search for what resonates as authentic. However, this same drive also leads you to encounter extraordinary individuals and experiences. These include the rare, insightful conversations that unfold at 2 a.m., the literary works and musical compositions that speak directly to your spirit, and the quiet moments of profound understanding that evoke a sense of belonging. While not always straightforward, this is precisely what renders your journey unparalleled. Your distinctive aura will not permit you to settle for anything less than the truth, even if this path occasionally entails solitude. To a greater extent than most, you possess an acute awareness of the transformative journey you have undergone and the continuous evolution you are always experiencing. When you reflect upon your past self, there are moments when you scarcely recognize the person you once were. You shed obsolete beliefs, ingrained habits, and established patterns with the same regularity that a snake sheds its skin. Sometimes this metamorphosis occurs abruptly, triggered by a crisis or a significant epiphany. At other times, it manifests as a gradual, consistent process of change. Jung proposed that individuals endowed with rare auras are inherently destined for profound transformation, not merely as a singular event, but as an ongoing, iterative process. Your soul is inherently restless, perpetually impelling you towards growth, towards confronting your shadow self, and towards uncovering latent strengths. Stagnation is simply intolerable for you. Even when it causes discomfort, you instinctively understand that genuine advancement occurs beyond the confines of your comfort zone. This relentless evolution can make it challenging for others to keep pace. Friends may struggle to comprehend your changes, or they might express a desire for you to remain as you previously were. Yet you are present for a fundamental reason: to repeatedly become your most authentic self. And here lies the undeniable truth. Each instance you release an older iteration of yourself, you create space for something even more aligned with who you truly are. Your rare aura is both your inherent talent and your designated trajectory. Navigating life with a rare aura is not perpetually effortless. You will inevitably encounter periods of isolation, misinterpretation, and fluctuations in emotional states. Nevertheless, you will also be privileged to experience instances of profound clarity, deep connection, and a sense of purpose that few individuals ever attain. Merely by being yourself, you will facilitate others in achieving a clearer perception of themselves. Your aspirations, your intuitive faculties, your capacity to perceive what eludes others. These constitute your inherent gifts. They possess the power to guide you towards a life that is both authentic and meaningful. Jung articulated that individuation, the profound expedition towards realizing your true self, represents the most significant endeavor any individual can undertake. Your rare aura is not a burden. It is, in fact, the invitation to embark upon that very journey. These are reflections and a path forward. If you recognize yourself in these identifying characteristics, understand this unequivocally. You are not flawed. You are neither excessive nor insufficient. You are simply uncommon. You are an individual who imparts illumination, depth, and transformative energy wherever you go. The world may not consistently grasp your essence, but those who do will be irrevocably altered by your presence. Therefore, honor your personal odyssey, embrace your distinctiveness, and continue to place your trust in your path, even when it feels uncertain. Remember, your rare aura stands as your paramount strength. Allow it to steer you towards individuals and environments that genuinely perceive and appreciate you. If this video resonated with your experience, I would be genuinely interested to read your thoughts in the comments section below. Which particular sign struck you as most accurate? How have you personally encountered your rare aura in the course of your life? And if you have not already done so, please ensure you subscribe and activate the notification bell so you never miss new content exploring Jungian psychology and methods for unlocking your deepest potential. Your personal narrative holds significant value, and this community exists to support you. Thank you for your presence here, for generously sharing your energy, and for acknowledging the unique light that resides within you. Have you ever found yourself pondering why people seem to notice your presence even when your intention is to remain inconspicuous? Why certain individuals are inexplicably drawn to you while others simply cannot decipher your essence? If your life has been characterized by a persistent feeling of being different, as though you inhabit a world that never quite harmonizes with your intrinsic energy, then this video is specifically for you. Carl Jung posited the existence of rare individuals who possess a distinctive presence, an ethereal quality that transcends mere personality traits or innate talents. The majority of people will not perceive this quality, but if you do, you will undoubtedly recognize these indicators within yourself, and perhaps you will finally experience a profound sense of not being alone. Let us now delve into the initial 3 indicators. You might possess a rare aura that no one truly comprehends. Perhaps you enter a room and immediately sense a shift in the atmosphere. People glance up, conversations momentarily cease, sometimes for only a fleeting fraction of a second, but you invariably perceive it. Occasionally you discern an undercurrent of curiosity, other times a distinct discomfort, and there are instances when you sense that individuals are simply unsure how to react to your presence at all. This phenomenon has likely been a constant throughout your life, for as long as you can recall. Even during your childhood, you might have observed adults treating you differently, or other children looking at you as if they instinctively perceived that you carried something inherently distinct. This is not attributable to your attire or your spoken words. It is the unvoiced power that you carry within you, the manner in which your presence is almost palpable, capable of being felt. Carl Jung referred to this phenomenon as a numinous presence, an extraordinary, profound energy that leaves an indelible mark on others even before you utter a single word. You might depart from a location, and individuals will retain a memory of you, even if your verbal contributions were minimal. On occasion, you may discern that your very existence discomfits others, or that you distinguish yourself for reasons that defy immediate explanation. For an individual possessing such a distinctive aura, this sensation can engender a profound sense of solitude. You may harbor a desire to assimilate, to remain inconspicuous, yet this aspiration invariably proves futile. You are not predestined for concealment. Your inherent energy is intended for widespread perception. This constitutes the primary indicator. You exert an influence upon the world merely by existing within it. Should you possess a rare aura, it is highly probable that you have an extensive history of individuals confiding their deepest secrets in you. At times, these confidences originate from close companions or family members. On other occasions, they emanate from complete strangers, an individual encountered once in a coffee establishment or aboard a train who spontaneously divulges something profoundly intimate. Your verbal input may be negligible. You simply engage in active listening, and inexplicably, individuals feel sufficiently secure to unburden themselves. This dynamic is not contingent upon an intrusive curiosity or an abundance of interrogations. It is a direct consequence of your energy. There is an intrinsic quality about you that instills instant trust in others. You may frequently find yourself assuming the role of an advisor, a psychotherapist, or a sympathetic confidant, even when such a role is entirely unanticipated. However, this inherent aptitude can be burdensome. You might conclude a conversation feeling utterly depleted, or observe yourself carrying the emotional burdens of others long after your interaction with them has ceased. Periodically, you might yearn for superficial, lighthearted exchanges, yet people consistently delve into profound topics with you, irrespective of your preference. Jung posited that individuals endowed with rare auras serve as mirrors, reflecting fundamental truths back to others. You present a reflective surface to the lives of individuals, and that mirror implicitly encourages sincerity. You perceive the underlying narrative beyond spoken words, and people intuitively sense this, even if they cannot articulate the reason. Over time, you acquire the capacity to safeguard your energetic reserves, to establish clear boundaries, and to conscientiously engage in self-care practices. Nevertheless, the undeniable truth persists. You represent a sanctuary in a world frequently devoid of such havens, and that in itself is an exceptionally potent attribute. If you possess a rare aura, it is quite likely that you have experienced a brand of loneliness that the majority of people seldom discuss. This sensation transcends mere physical isolation. You can experience it even amidst a throng of people, surrounded by friends or family, in the throes of laughter and commotion. It is a pervasive feeling that no one truly comprehends the most profound facets of your being. Perhaps you endeavor to articulate your unique perspective on the world, but individuals either fail to grasp it or abruptly change the topic. You might yearn for more substantive conversations, for genuine interpersonal connections, yet frequently find yourself feeling like an outsider, the one who somehow doesn't quite belong. Carl Jung observed that individuals who forge their own distinct path often experience isolation, not out of a desire for solitude, but because they operate on an entirely different vibrational frequency. You may have dedicated years to attempting to conform, to emulate everyone else, yet such efforts invariably proved ineffective. You learn to coexist with your loneliness, to achieve a measure of acceptance regarding it. However, herein lies the concealed advantage. This very loneliness becomes the fertile ground for your creative endeavors, your accumulated wisdom, your profound insights. It compels you to listen with unparalleled depth, to engage in deep introspection, and to discover resilience in periods of solitary reflection. The world may never fully grasp the extent of your profundity, but that reality does not diminish its authenticity in any way. You might observe that animals or young children are naturally drawn to you, instinctively perceiving your gentle, energetic signature. You might discover solace in artistic expressions, musical compositions, or the natural world environments where your distinctive aura feels entirely at ease. You could possess an acute sensitivity to the emotional states of others, noticing subtle shifts in their dispositions, or experiencing exhaustion after social gatherings. You are not exhibiting weakness for experiencing these sensations. You are not overly sensitive. You simply perceive, feel, and process life at a depth that most individuals are entirely unaware exists. A reflection from Jung's philosophical framework. Carl Jung firmly believed that the most exceptional souls are frequently the most misunderstood. He famously penned, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Your rare aura is not merely a benefaction. It constitutes your inherent responsibility to embrace it fully, to cultivate it meticulously, and to permit it to serve as your guiding principle. Do any of these indicators resonate with you? Have you encountered instances where people reacted to you in ways that defy rational explanation or experienced a sense of isolation even when surrounded by others? I am eager to hear your personal account. Please share your experiences in the comments section and describe how your unique aura manifests in your life. If you are deriving enjoyment from this exploration into Jungian wisdom, I encourage you to subscribe and activate the notification bell for additional videos delving into psychology, unique personality types, and the process of uncovering your latent strengths. Your narrative could be precisely what another individual requires to feel acknowledged and understood. Today, our journey has merely commenced. In the subsequent segment, we will delve into an even broader array of indicators, including how your dreams, your inherent sensitivity, and your intuitive faculties distinguish you in ways you may have previously overlooked. If your aura is indeed rare, it is probable that you experience dreams that possess a vividness surpassing waking life itself. You awaken recalling intricate color palettes, profound emotional states, or even entire narrative arcs that appear to harbor a significance you cannot always articulate. Occasionally, your dreams recur, featuring enigmatic symbols. Perhaps you repeatedly encounter the same animal or visit locales that do not exist in your conscious reality. This phenomenon extends beyond mere nocturnal visions. Your daily existence might seem replete with subtle messages or uncanny coincidences. Perhaps you consistently observe the same numerical sequence or specific musical compositions play at precisely the opportune moment. At times, you perceive an impression that the cosmos is communicating with you through a language of signs. Jung would interpret this as your intrinsic connection to the unconscious mind. Individuals possessing rare auras are frequently more attuned to their internal landscapes. You do not simply dismiss peculiar sensations or intensely vivid dreams. You pay meticulous attention to them. This connection wields considerable power. It empowers you to anticipate impending events, to comprehend your own emotions with greater depth, and occasionally even to assist others in deciphering the complexities of their lives. However, this connection can also induce feelings of isolation when you attempt to articulate your dreams or the patterns you discern. Some individuals might dismiss your observations as overthinking or an excessive inclination towards mysticism. Nevertheless, you remain steadfast in your conviction that what you perceive is real, even if it defies conventional logic. Carl Jung posited that these internal experiences represent a veritable treasure trove for personal development and self-discovery. Your own psyche consistently furnishes you with subtle hints and profound insights, thereby facilitating a deeper comprehension of your fundamental essence. It is imperative to embrace this process wholeheartedly. Make it a practice to meticulously record your dreams. Cultivate an acute awareness of synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that often appear in your life, and permit your internal landscape to serve as your guiding compass. This inclination is not an oddity. Rather, it is a manifestation of profound wisdom. You might frequently perceive the emotional states of others with such intensity that they almost feel like your own. For instance, if a close friend experiences anxiety, you may find your own chest constricting in a similar fashion. Conversely, if someone expresses excitement, you might feel a surge of energetic vitality even before they articulate their feelings verbally. You possess the remarkable ability to instantaneously discern the prevailing atmosphere in any given environment, effortlessly detecting tension, joy, or sorrow without a single word being uttered by anyone present. Occasionally, this exceptional aptitude can prove to be quite overwhelming. Large gatherings of people might deplete your energy reserves significantly. Certain individuals possess an uncanny ability to leave you feeling utterly exhausted, as if you have completed an arduous marathon, even after a mere brief conversation. This phenomenon is not indicative of any inherent weakness on your part. Instead, it signifies that your emotional reception apparatus is calibrated with a far greater degree of sensitivity than that of most people. Carl Jung interpreted this heightened sensitivity not as a vulnerability, but as a distinctive and potent form of personal strength. You are profoundly interconnected with the collective unconscious, that pervasive emotional tapestry that inextricably links all human beings. This intrinsic connection empowers you to offer solace, empathy, and understanding in ways that are simply beyond the capacity of others. You possess an innate ability to comprehend people, even if they fail to reciprocate that understanding. However, this also implies a crucial need for diligent self-care. Establish clear and firm boundaries. Allocate dedicated time for periods of solitude. Cultivate the ability to decline requests when you feel overburdened or stretched too thin. Your purpose here involves assisting others, but it is impossible to pour from a vessel that is entirely empty. Always remember that your sensitivity is an invaluable asset, not a personal failing. It grants you the capacity to perceive the inherent beauty in the world, to profoundly appreciate art, music, and even the most unassuming moments with an unparalleled depth. Allow yourself the full spectrum of emotions, but also grant yourself the necessary periods of rest and recuperation. Have you ever experienced a premonition, an inexplicable certainty that something was about to transpire before it actually did? Perhaps you sensed a particular underlying vibe from a newly encountered individual, and subsequently, your initial instinct was validated. Or perhaps you felt an abrupt and compelling urge to alter your pre-existing plans, only to later realize that this spontaneous decision helped you avert potential difficulties or danger. Individuals who possess a rare aura frequently exhibit a distinct kind of internal navigational system. You place implicit trust in your gut feelings, even when you are unable to articulate the precise rationale behind them. You might frequently base your decisions on intuitive feelings rather than solely on cold, hard logic. And when you choose to disregard these compelling gut feelings, events almost invariably deviate from your desired course. Jung labeled this phenomenon intuition, perceiving it as a direct conduit to the unconscious mind. He firmly believed that intuitive individuals are adept at discerning subtle signals and intricate patterns that often elude the perception of others. This is not a matter of mystical enchantment. It is not a process of mere conjecture or random guessing. Instead, it represents a profound attunement to the underlying currents and hidden dynamics operating beneath the manifest surface of reality. Your intuition serves as an invaluable aid, assisting you in selecting the most appropriate path, avoiding detrimental individuals, and recognizing nascent opportunities. However, at times it can also induce feelings of anxiety, particularly when the prevailing societal norms or the world around you insist that you should exclusively adhere to a logical framework. It is crucial to remember that both logic and intuition hold significant importance. Yet for someone like you, deliberately ignoring your intuition is akin to deliberately severing one of your primary sensory faculties. It is a potent instrument, one that becomes increasingly refined and effective the more diligently you attend to its promptings. Cherish and honor your inner voice. Make a habit of documenting your gut feelings, even if their immediate meaning or purpose is not yet apparent. Over the course of time, you will cultivate a deeper sense of self-trust, and you will repeatedly observe the remarkable accuracy of your instincts. Living with a rare aura entails a unique constellation of experiences. All of these indicators, your dreams, your heightened sensitivity, and your acute intuition, are integral components of a more expansive and interconnected tapestry. They fundamentally distinguish you from the general populace, occasionally fostering a sense of being an outsider or a stranger in your own existence. Nevertheless, they simultaneously unlock gateways to more profound levels of understanding, connection, and creative expression. At times, this path can feel profoundly solitary. You may occasionally wish that you possess the ability to simply switch off these unique qualities, to become normal, or to assimilate more effortlessly into conventional society. However, your rare aura constitutes your most exceptional endowment. It is the very faculty that empowers you to perceive underlying truths, to facilitate healing in others, and to cultivate beauty even in environments where others perceive only disarray and chaos. And it is vital to recognize that you are not isolated in this experience. There are countless other individuals dispersed across the globe who share precisely these feelings. People who experience vivid dreams, feel emotions with extraordinary depth, and unequivocally trust their instincts, even when such trust defies conventional logic. A Jungian reflection offers valuable perspective. Carl Jung famously penned, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes?" You possess a rare aura precisely because you demonstrate the courage and willingness to engage in this profound process of inward introspection. Do not permit the external world to sow seeds of doubt within you. Continue your journey of growth, persist in feeling deeply, and allow your inherent uniqueness to radiate brilliantly. Our exploration is not yet complete. The final three indicators are poised to unveil the most profound enigmas associated with possessing a rare aura, illuminating the extraordinary gifts and formidable challenges that will perpetually distinguish you. Remain with me as we conclude this transformative odyssey together. If your aura is indeed rare, you have likely observed that people often exhibit intense and at times unpredictable reactions in your presence. Some individuals are utterly captivated by you, expressing a strong desire for closeness and connection. Conversely, others might display signs of envy, competitiveness, or even a subtle sense of being threatened by your presence. There are instances where someone might openly express admiration for you, almost perceiving you as a source of inspiration. At other times, you might encounter inexplicable resistance, a metaphorical wall that suddenly erects itself without any discernible cause. You might perceive whispers or misjudgments from others who form opinions about you before they have had the opportunity to truly comprehend your authentic narrative. Carl Jung theorized that when an individual carries a rare or exceptionally potent energetic signature, it functions as a reflective surface for the unconscious components residing within others. You may inadvertently serve as a reminder to people of their own deeply held desires, or conversely, of the aspects of themselves they are actively striving to avoid. At times, your mere presence can elicit emotions from individuals that they are unwilling or unprepared to confront. You did not actively seek out this particular role, yet it consistently accompanies you. This dynamic can render interpersonal relationships remarkably intricate and perplexing. You might find yourself pondering why certain individuals gradually recede or become emotionally distant after having established a close connection, or why others are irresistibly drawn to you, earnestly seeking your counsel, your energetic presence, or your unique insights. This phenomenon is not about being inherently superior to anyone else. It is simply a matter of being intrinsically different. Your rare aura has a tendency to disrupt the status quo, for better or for worse. Over time, you gradually acquire the wisdom not to internalize these varied reactions personally. You begin to discern what truly pertains to you and what merely constitutes a projection or reflection of other people's individual narratives. This realization represents a monumental stride towards safeguarding your inner tranquility and cultivating relationships with individuals who genuinely appreciate your authentic self. You might frequently discover yourself seeking profound depth in every aspect of your existence. Superficial small talk tends to exhaust you. Relationships that lack genuine substance leave you feeling unfulfilled and empty. What you truly yearn for are authentic, deeply meaningful conversations, the kind where individuals shed their protective facades and communicate directly from the core of their being. Whether this occurs through intimate dialogue with a trusted confidant, through the expression of your creativity in art, or even simply by meticulously journaling your own thoughts, you are perpetually endeavoring to uncover the fundamental truth beneath all appearances. Jung would describe this intrinsic motivation as the process of individuation, the ongoing journey towards becoming your truly integrated and authentic self. You possess an inherent aversion to adopting personas or conforming to predefined categories that do not genuinely resonate with your inner self. Your deepest aspiration is to lead a life imbued with deliberate intention, unyielding integrity, and profound self-awareness. This persistent yearning for profound significance can, at times, engender a sense of disquiet, as if no achievement or experience ever truly suffices. In your continuous pursuit of authenticity, you may find yourself outgrowing personal connections, professional roles, or even previous iterations of your own identity. However, this very quest also serves as a conduit, drawing extraordinary individuals and transformative experiences into your orbit. Consider the profound, unfiltered dialogues that unfold in the stillness of 2:09 a.m., the literary works and musical compositions that resonate deeply with your very essence. and the serene moments of insight that evoke a feeling of belonging. While this path is not always effortless, it is precisely what renders your personal odyssey unparalleled. Your distinctive essence prevents you from accepting anything less than absolute truth, even if this commitment occasionally leads to periods of solitude. More acutely than most, you are keenly attuned to the extent of your personal evolution and the incessant nature of your ongoing transformation. Upon reflecting on your former self, there are occasions when you find yourself unable to recognize the individual you once were. You divest yourself of outdated convictions, habitual behaviors, and ingrained patterns with the same natural ease as a serpent shedding its skin. Sometimes this profound shift occurs abruptly, triggered by a significant crisis or a sudden, illuminating realization. At other times, it manifests as a gradual, sustained process of metamorphosis. Carl Jung posited that individuals endowed with such a unique inner essence are inherently destined for profound transformation, not merely as a singular event, but as a recurring cycle. Your very soul is in a perpetual state of unrest, consistently impelling you towards growth, compelling you to confront your shadow aspects and guiding you to unearth novel capabilities. You harbor an intrinsic intolerance for stagnation. Even amidst discomfort, you instinctively understand that genuine advancement unfolds beyond the confines of your established comfort zone. This relentless process of evolution can present challenges for others attempting to keep pace. Friends may struggle to comprehend your ongoing changes, or they might express a desire for you to remain as you were. Nevertheless, your presence here is purposeful. You are destined to fully embody your authentic self repeatedly. And here lies the undeniable truth. Each instance you release a previous version of yourself, you create space for an even more genuine expression of who you truly are. Your distinctive aura is both your inherent gift and your predestined trajectory. Navigating life with such a rare inner essence is not perpetually smooth. You will inevitably encounter feelings of isolation, moments of misunderstanding, and emotional fluctuations. Yet concurrently, you will experience instances of profound clarity, deep connection, and a sense of purpose that few individuals ever attain. Merely by being your authentic self, you will empower others to perceive themselves with greater insight. Your aspirations, your intuitive faculties, and your capacity to perceive what others cannot, these constitute your unique endowments. They serve as guiding beacons, directing you towards a life that is both authentic and deeply meaningful. Jung articulated that individuation, the intricate journey towards becoming one's true self, represents the most significant endeavor any individual can undertake. Your distinctive aura is not a burden. Rather, it is an explicit invitation to embark upon that very path, fostering continuous introspection and forward momentum. Should you recognize yourself within these descriptive indicators, grasp this fundamental truth. You are not flawed. You are neither excessive nor insufficient. You are, quite simply, exceptional. You are an individual who radiates illumination, profundity, and transformative energy wherever you venture. The world at large may not always grasp your unique nature, but those who do will be irrevocably altered by your presence. Therefore, cherish your journey, embrace your distinct qualities, and persistently place your trust in your chosen path, even when uncertainty pervades. Always remember your rare aura is your most potent asset. Allow it to direct you towards individuals and environments that genuinely acknowledge and appreciate you. If the content of this video resonated with you, I would be genuinely delighted to engage with your thoughts in the comments section below. Which particular indicator felt most true to your experience? How have you personally encountered your rare aura in the tapestry of your life? And if you have not yet done so, please ensure you subscribe and activate the notification bell so that you never miss new videos exploring Jungian psychology and strategies for unleashing your deepest potential. Your personal narrative holds immense significance, and this community stands ready to support you. Thank you for your presence here, for generously sharing your energy, and for honoring the extraordinary light that resides within you.